that a fish? That's a fish. I'm on another decent one, guys. It's not the fish I was after before. That one never bit again. But I moved to another spot and I'm on a real decent one. I'm on a decent bass, guys. I don't know if y'all just saw that jump or not, but decent fish.
What is going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of All Mouth Bassing. In this episode, I went out to a small lake a little while back, and I actually went 2 days in a row. The first day I only had a little while to kill, so I went out from the banks, and I was having a pretty tough time getting on a bite until I finally switched off to some Ned rigs, and I ended up getting into some pretty decent bites after that, just nothing too crazy big. So then the second day I went out and I tried to get on something a little bigger floating around on the float tube, and I actually had some pretty considerable luck. I'm not going to spoil too much and say too much more about it beyond what I probably spoil with the title and thumbnail, which is typical, but basically first day was okay, got some dinks, and the second day I had some amazing luck. So if you guys want to see how it all went, go ahead, stick around, stay tuned, and check it out.
Okay guys, I did decide to tie on a Ned rig like I said I probably would, and I decided to go with a Sukoshi Bug, which is actually one of my favorite Ned plastics, and this one is the color Green Pumpkin. I've had some very good luck with this bait and this color in the past, actually specifically in this lake too, so I could have some decent luck this morning with this. I'm gonna try tossing it around a little bit. I actually did see a couple pretty nice bass in this little pool right here, so we'll see if one or two of them will bite. I'll spend a little time in this spot and then I'll probably move on to one or two more spots before I call it a day, but like I said earlier, I've only got about an hour, so probably can't hit too many spots today. There's a little smallie right below me. Wonder if I could get him to eat. See what he's got going on out here. Oh, there's something. It's not the smallmouth I was after, I don't think, but it's something. Oh, maybe it is. All right, that is a decent one, guys. Not too bad. Hell yeah. It's got one of those weird deformities, like it had a broke back at some point or something, but it's a chunky little football. Probably, I'd say probably over a pound, but it's just short and fat. Pretty awesome. All right guys, pretty neat little catch. Actually a real pretty fish, got nice markings on it and everything. Just got that weird little deformity there, but anyway, I went down to a little spot where I could get near the water better. I'm gonna release it now. Oh geez, bud, that was a pretty wild release. Turned towards the rocks and did like a 360 and took off. But anyway, all right, awesome guys, that's one down. Let's try to catch one or two more. Well guys, looks like that smallie might be the only catch for this spot for this morning. I ended up spending a little more time here than I planned to. I was seeing some other bass swimming around, but just couldn't get them to bite. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next spot and try my luck there. I don't have a ton of time left, so the next spot might be the only other spot. Kind of depends how things go. We'll see. All right guys, I am at the other spot now, and this probably will be the last spot for the morning because I only have about 20 minutes left, but hopefully that 20 minutes will be enough to pull at least one more bass out of here. Let's toss the Sukoshi Bug back out there and hope for the best. Man, I actually just missed one, guys. There's a couple little dinks swimming around me. I'm gonna see if I could get back out there and get one to bite again. I definitely didn't hit it with the hooks. I just I overcompensated with the hook set a little. It was a small fish and I cranked it, so I ripped the whole bait right out of its mouth. Oh, there's one of them. That's the smaller of the two. See if I can get to eat though. It might eat. There it is. Oh, I had it on for a sec, but it was too small, I think. I didn't get the hook set. It was holding on to the bait for a sec. Man, let's get back out there. They're definitely aggressive little bass. Both of them ate. I just couldn't get the hook set on either of them. The first one I think was my fault. That second one, I don't know. I don't think it ate very good. Oh, there it is. All right, awesome. Pretty neat little micro bass, about a fingerling smallie. I'll take it though. Definitely not a half pounder. I said a half pounder earlier. They were quite a bit smaller than that. Okay, let's get this pretty little fish back in the water and see if I can maybe pull one more out real quick. I've only got like 5 minutes, so we'll see how it goes. Still throwing the Sukoshi bug, 2 down. See what else we could do. The other little bass was still out there when I just released that one, so maybe that one will eat too. Get out of here. That is so wild, guys. I just turned my camera back on to tell you I had to call it a day, and this little guy was chasing my bait back into the bank. I was pretty much burning it in. I was just gonna pull it in, hang it up, and tell you guys I was done, and then this other little smallie just bit. But all right, guys, the camera on my battery's pretty much toast, so let's get this little dude released and call it a day. There it goes. Awesome, awesome. All right, I'll see you in the outro or the next part of the video or whatever. All right, guys, it is about midday the next day and I'm back out at the same lake, but today I decided to come out on the old float tube. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw around probably some more Ned rigs today, more finesse baits at least, and hopefully try to get on a couple more bass today, maybe get on a bigger one or something, who knows. But that's the general plan, so just gonna kick around on the old scrote float and hopefully get on some smallies or maybe even some largies or spots if I'm lucky, but a lot of smallies in here and I'm okay with that. So see how it goes and hopefully we catch a couple more fish here. I figured you'd probably want to know what I was throwing too before I kept casting. So what I'm starting with today is the same thing I ended the day with yesterday, just this Sukoshi bug on a Ned head. I think it's maybe like a 3/8, but I'm not certain. Forget exactly what size, but it's a green pumpkin Sukoshi bug, and I'm gonna toss this around and, like I said, hopefully pull out some more smallies or just bass in general. Is that a fish? That's a fish! Guys, my first official cast today and I already got on one. That is awesome. I was trolling on the way over here and I think I actually got a little nibble on the way over here, but this is actually a decent fish and on my first cast. Like really decent actually. All right, this is awesome, guys. Not what I was expecting at all, but I will take it all day. That is a nice smallie. Oh man, It had a crawl in it. It just spit a crawl out. That is so cool. Oh, I was gonna try to go over and grab that crawl real quick. I better focus on catching the smallie though. I got ADD if you can't tell. All right, guys. Not a giant or anything, but man, this thing was freaking out. Oh, and it just spit my hook too, so got it in just in the nick of time. That was awesome, guys. Wow, that was awesome. All right, guys. This beautiful little smallie actually only came in at 14 inches, so not a giant by any means, probably 1.5 pounds at absolute best, but man, it fought hard. It fought like a 2.5 pounder, honestly. Beautiful little fish though. Real stoked it bit, especially on the first cast. Let's get it back in the water. There it goes. Splashed my camera and everything. Man, that was tight. Well, I'd say a decent bass on the first cast is probably a pretty good sign. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Sukoshi bug back out there and hopefully catch 1 or 2 more. Got a little wind blowing in now. It's pushing me towards the bank. Hopefully that doesn't hold up too long. Alright guys, it's been about a half hour since that first catch there, and the bite's actually been a little slower than I was expecting after that first cast bite, but I did actually just end up getting my second bite of the day, and unfortunately I jacked the hook set, so gonna try to get back out there and hopefully the fish bites again. We'll see. Just gotta straighten up this Sukoshi bug real quick and I'll send it. Fingers crossed this thing eats again. I'm on another decent one, guys. It's not the fish I was after before. That one never bit again, but I moved to another spot and I'm on a real decent one. I mean, might be the same size as the last one. The last one felt real big too. I think being in the float tube makes them feel bigger, but this feels like a real decent fish for sure. Oh yeah, it's pulling hard. I can give it a little more wiggle room. I think it's bigger than the last one for sure. Feels like it's just got more weight. Oh yeah, it's definitely a nice fish. It's yanking. Oh, it's a carp. That makes a lot more sense. Pretty, oh no, it's a nice catfish. Let's go. It might even be a flathead, I think. That is not what I was expecting, guys. My mind is blown right now. That really makes a lot more sense though, because I was like, this has to be a giant bass. I think it's a flatty. That's a flathead. No way. I didn't even, I mean, I guess it's connected to the river, but I didn't even know there were flathead in this lake. That is so cool. Oh, come on. No. Oh, it's the last thing I need to do, buddy. No. Yes. That is so cool, guys. I've only caught a handful of flats in my life, and this is actually probably my second biggest one. This is so cool. Okay, guys. I actually stepped onto the banks real quick to take a picture of this big girl. What a freaking beautiful fish. Like I said earlier, I think this is actually my second biggest flathead catfish ever. I've only caught, I think, like 3 or 4. Man, these are such pretty fish though. They have the nicest markings on them. This is really the last thing I expected to pull out of here. This is actually the first flathead catfish I've ever seen come out of this lake. This fish is actually maxing out my 20-inch bump board and then some, so I'm thinking it's probably right around 2 foot, give or take. Beautiful fish. Let's get it back in the water though. I don't want to keep messing with it and stressing it out. There she goes. So freaking cool, guys. Hell yes. That was awesome. Alright guys, it's been quite a while and I've been kicking around, casting around the lake, but I decided to circle back to one of the spots that I got a pretty decent bite earlier, and I'm going to try throwing this back out there and see if it might be interested after I give it a little time to cool down and maybe relax for a bit. I'm hooked up with a Dinkmeister, guys. Fired up little smallmouth. I don't think this is the fish that I was trying to hook up with over there. I think it was a bigger one. It felt like it had more weight to it when it hit the first time, but at least I caught something out of that spot, and at least this killed that little slow spell I was in there. Hell yeah, another little smallie. Let's get it back in the water. Whew. It's fired up. Alright, that's 2 smallies and a decent flathead down so far with the Sukoshi bug today. Not too bad for midday on a 90-degree day. But let's get the Sukoshi bug back out there and see if we could get it 8 again. Oh, I'm on a decent bass, guys. I don't know if y'all just saw that jump or not, but decent fish. It's getting real windy, so this might be the last one. Oh yeah, that's a beauty. Hell yes. Freaking awesome smallie. Whoa. He's still got lots of energy though. I'm just gonna loosen up the drag a little and let him play. Maybe. As I say that, he seems to tire out a little. Come on, big dog. Oh, it's a pretty good hook set. I think we're good. Oh yeah, that is a hell of a smallmouth bass, guys. So freaking awesome. Probably like, I'd say probably my second best of the year. But anyway, let's get it off a hook and back in the water. What an absolutely freaking gorgeous smallmouth bass. Easily one of my best of the year so far. It actually came in at 17 inches, which I think is a tie for length for my biggest of the year so far. I think my last one actually was just a hair over 17 inches, so this one actually might be a bit chunkier. But anyway, I beached the boat real quick to grab a picture, and I'm gonna get this guy back in the water. Beautiful fish. There it goes. So tight. Wow guys, looks like I got off the lake just in time. I got off the lake probably less than 2 minutes ago, and it is freaking nasty out there now. Definitely got way worse even just since I got off. That's crazy. Glad I left when I did. But anyway, see you in the outro.
Alright guys, as always, thanks for watching another episode, and thank you so much for sticking around till the end. As y'all could see, that ended up being an awesome couple of days. The first day I got out there from the banks and I got on a few dinks and had a pretty fun time doing that. Then the second day I went out, got out on the old floater, and I ended up getting on some beautiful fish. Got a real nice, actually a couple of real nice smallies, and a really, really awesome flathead catfish. I barely ever catch flatheads. That was probably only like my 4th or 5th ever, and I think it was actually my 2nd biggest ever. I actually didn't have a scale, and I don't even think I had a tape measure, so I was pretty much going off what I could see from the bump board, and I'm guessing it was right around 2 foot, give or take a couple inches. So just absolutely beautiful fish. I don't even have a guess on the weight, it was pretty fat, but catfish tend to be pretty tough to tell weights, so I don't even want to guess it. But anyway, generally speaking, awesome couple of days, got on some fish and just had a really great time. I have a really great time every time I get out on that float tube, so glad I could do that. Just glad I could get out for a couple days and get on some decent fish and just have a good time. So glad you guys stuck around and checked out the whole video, and that's about all I got to say about it. So thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one, and I'll see you on the water.